is Nikki Field, and I teach geometry and math models.
And which of those two is your favorite?
It depends on the day. I like to quilt or piece. I like to piece the tops of quilts. I like to cook. I like to try different cuisines from different areas around the world. What else? I also like to do Pilates. I teach Pilates as well. Okay, Pilates is isometric movements on a machine called a reformer. You use your body mass and tensions. I have studied it for about 10 years. And in the last 5 years, I became practicing at least once or twice a day. And 2 years ago, I decided to get certified. And so that is a 500-hour certification program. It's a national certification. I completed that last summer, not this past one, but the one before. And so I am a certified Pilates instructor. I think some of the videos you have are of my certification test. It was a 180-hour certification test, which was really intense. Anyway, so I have a studio now in my home, in my backyard, and I instruct private clients. I worked for Club Pilates for about 9 months, but then took this job here at Rappaport and decided I needed to focus on something. I was also working at Baylor, and I couldn't do all 3 jobs and be a full-time mom.
Could you go into depth about the qualifications for being a Pilates instructor?
Yeah, you have to go to, I can't remember how many hours. It was like 5 weeks, 3 full days, 5 weekends in a row where you stayed for 8 or 9 hours and you practice all the positions, all the different things on, there's different apparatus. There's the reformer, there's the chair, there's a Cadillac, there is a, oh gosh, I can't forget. Oh, the barrel, and then the mat on the springboard, and maybe TRX. So there's a bunch of different apparatus that you get trained for. And so you go and take classes and work on all of those and learn all the different moves. And you shouldn't really do it unless you have done years of practice.
So you mentioned quilt piecing. Can you explain exactly what that is?
Well, to make a quilt, you have to piece fabric together. You can either do it by hand or with a sewing machine. You cut pieces of fabric together, or cut pieces of fabric and then put them together either by hand or with a sewing machine. And then when you're done with that, then you take the top of what you've made, it's called a top. You put it to a back and you put a piece of cloth like cotton or polyester, which is called a batting, and you sandwich the 3 pieces together and then you quilt it. And again, you can either quilt it by hand or you can quilt it with a machine. They have fancy machines called long arm machines, which is what I actually own, a long arm machine. And it allows you to quilt much more evenly and in a much more timely manner. Hand quilting is very time consuming. I did that.
You stated that you needed to focus on being a mom. How many kids do you have? How old are they?
I have 5 kids. I had 3 kids in my first marriage before I was 30. And then I was divorced 32. And then when I remarried, I think 34, 35, I had 2 more children with my second husband. So my last son was born when I was 40. I'm 52 now, so he's 12 years old almost. Or he will be 12 at Christmas. So he's the youngest, and then she's 14. Then my middle daughter is about to be 22. My next son is 24, and my oldest son is 26. The 2 in the middle, the 24 and 22-year-old, are about to graduate college, thank goodness. The oldest one has already graduated, so they will be off my mother's payroll. Yay! Anyway, but 2 more to go, and then I will be free.